start with a new topic called grammar. So, our topic is grammar. What is grammar first of all? Any idea? Who found it? When it was invented? Any idea? Yes, it was found by William Bulker. What is his name? William Bulker. In which year it was invented? In the year of 1586. In the year of 1586, William Bulker has invented grammar. Okay, who invented it? When it was invented, we came to know. Next, coming to grammar. What is grammar first of all? I repeat it again the question. What is grammar? It is a structural foundation of our ability to express ourselves. Means we will be having so many feelings inside. To speak it out, we need grammar. For example, this is a pen. This is a meaningful sentence. So, here grammar is used to form a meaningful sentence. So, one more thing, that is a tree. That is a tree. To form such type of sentences, we need to repeat what is grammar. It is a structural foundation of an ability to speak ourselves, to express ourselves. Means, for example, I told pen. You have to speak about something about pen. How you will speak? You want to tell something about pen. How you will speak? For that also we need grammar. To form meaningful sentences and to express ourselves, we need grammar. Up to now we came to know what is grammar, who invented it and in which year it was invented. And now coming to letter. What is letter? Anybody is having any idea? Yes. What is letter? It is a character which represents different types of sounds. A letter is what? Which represents different types of sounds. I told already what is letter. Again I repeat. A character representing one or more of the sounds to speak of. It is called as letter. Example, A for apple, A for ant. So how you are spelling here? A has two different ways. A for apple means you are telling you are speaking it as next you are pronouncing it as and next coming to A for ant. No. So how you are spelling it? Ant. So you are spelling it as A. So one letter is pronounced as in different types. So this is a group of words which we pronounce in a different ways. How many alphabets we have totally? 26 alphabets. How many? 26 alphabets. What are those? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So these are all the 26 alphabets. And look at here. In which form these are in? Capital letters. These are all called as capital letters. So, these are written in capital form. So, totally how many alphabets here we have? 26 alphabets. And in which form I have written in capital form. Next coming to small letters. Capital letters A to Z are also called as uppercase and small letters A to Z are also called as lowercase. Okay. Next again I repeat letter. What is letter? A character representing one or more of the sounds when we speak. It is called as a letter. And we are having two cases here. One is uppercase and one is lowercase. Now we discussed grammar, letter and cases. Okay. Now coming to cases. Capital letters. Where do we use capital letters? Where to use capital letters? Capital letters should be used at the beginning of the sentence. Again I repeat, capital letters should be used at the beginning of the sentence. And to the names, places, things, animals and holidays and also at the month names and also week names. Up to now we discussed what is grammar, letter and also cases in the letters. Now I am going to explain where to use the capital letters. So grammar, letter and the types of in the letter, cases we have in the letter. Now I am going to explain where to use the capital letters. Any idea? Yes, capital letters should be used at the beginning of the sentences. I repeat again, capital letters should be used at the beginning of the sentences, and for the names, places, things, animals and holidays, festivals and for qualifications. Again I repeat, capital letters should be used at the beginning of the sentences and for the names, places, things, animals, holidays, months. I repeat again, where to use capital letters. In front of the sentence, while we are going to begin a sentence, at the beginning of the sentence we should start with a capital letter. Next, names of the places, people, things, animals, weeks, months of the year, holidays, festivals and qualifications. In front of all those we have to use capital letters. And finally, one more point what I am going to tell you is very important. Whenever we write I, it should be written in capital form. Wherever, in whichever the sentence you are going to write, I should be either at the middle of the sentence or at the starting of the sentence. I should be always in capital. Again I repeat, where to use capital letters. Beginning of the sentence, names of the places, people, things, animals, weeks, months of the year, holidays, festivals and qualifications. And one more thing is, we should use always I, either it's a beginning or in the middle of the sentence. I should be always as a capital letter. Children, up to now we have learned what is grammar, letter, cases and how to use capital letters. Now I am going to explain types of sounds. How many types of sounds we have? Two types of sounds. What are those? Can anybody answer? Yes, vowels and consonants. What are those sounds called? Vowels and consonants. Children, I told that sounds are of two types. What are those? Vowels and consonants. Coming to what is vowel and how we will pronounce it. Let us see. A sound produced by the configuration of the vocal cord and the vocal tract is called as a vowel. The vibration will be coming out very audibly with a great friction and it will be heard clearly. That is called vowel. Again I repeat, vowel means what? A sound produced to open configuration of the vocal tract with vibration of the vocal cords but with audible friction. Audible friction means what? I repeat again the main reason here. Audible friction means speaking out clearly and which is heard very clearly. See here, I told audible friction. Audible friction means what? Which is able to be heard very carefully and also very clearly. I told how they will be spelled. Now I am going to tell what are those letters. A, E, I, O, U. These five letters are called as vowel sounds. Again I repeat, A, E, I, O, U. These five letters are called as vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, U. These five letters are called as vowel sounds. I already explained about what is vowel and types of letters in that. Now we are going to learn about consonants. What is a consonant first of all? A basic speech sound in which the breath is not exactly breathed out or inhaled. Again I repeat, a basic speech sound in which the breath is at least partly obstructed and which can be combined with a vowel to form a syllable. See, I am going to give an example. Look here, box. Here O is vowel sound and consonant is B. B is a consonant. But here O is spelled very clearly. Look here, and it is combined, this consonant is combined with vowel and formed a word, meaningful word. Children, I told vowels means A, E, I, O, U are called vowels. And the remaining all the letters except A, E, I, O, U are called as consonants. I again repeat, children, A, E, I, O, U are vowels and the remaining letters except A, I, O, U are consonants. B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y and Z. All these 21 letters are called as consonants. Up to now kids we learned grammar, letters and that in cases uppercase, lowercase and sounds. In sounds what we learned about vowels and consonants. Now we came to word. What is word? Anybody is having any idea? Word. What is word? Yeah, it's true. Yes, a word is a sound or combination of sounds. Again I repeat, a word is a sound or a combination of sounds. Example I am going to tell you here. A word is a sound or combination of sound. Look here, I wrote C, L, A, S, S. It is a group of letters. Look here, C, L, A, S, S. It is a group of letters. And it finally formed a meaningful word. And it is sounding as class. It is sounding as class. Look here, a word is a sound or combination of sounds. So finally, these five letters will be having different types of sounds. Look here, C, C, L, A, S, S. See, all the four letters will be spelling in different ways. But finally, they combine together and give you a meaningful word. And we are pronouncing it as class. Again, I repeat with kids, listen here. A word is a sound or a combination of sounds. C, L, A, S, S. These are five letters combined together to give you a meaningful word. And it is pronounced as class. What is it called as? Class. Or one more definition. Group of letters combining together to form a meaningful sound. It is called as also word. I repeat again, group of letters combining together to form a meaningful sound. It is also called as a word. Examples again I repeat. Water, W, A, T, E, R. See here, W we are telling, A we are telling, T we are telling, E, R. And those five letters combined together and formed a meaningful word called water. See, I took five letters F, T, U, V. Here also we are having four letters. But if they form together in any way, in whichever you arrange them, they can't form a meaningful word. So, there should be a meaningful. Next children, I explained about word and the definition of it I told and example also I told. Now coming to phrase. What is a phrase? Any idea? Yes. A small group of words combined together to form a meaning. A small group of words combined together to form a meaning. But it is not a complete sentence. Understood? It won't be a complete sentence. But few group of words will be joined together. But there won't be a complete sentence. Children, phrase. I told you definition again. I am repeating. A small group of words that work together to make a meaning. But it is not a complete sentence. See, two group of words are there. They combine together. But the sentence will not be a complete sentence. Such type of sentences are called as phrases. Example. Sun rises. Of course, sun rises in which direction? It rises in the east. But that sentence is not fully completed. Such type of sentences are called as phrases. Phrases are of three types. What is that? Noun phrase, verb phrase, prepositional phrase. And this prepositional phrase also can be acted as adverb phrase and as an adjective phrase. In some conditions, prepositional phrases will be acting as an adverb case or also adjective phrase. Again I repeat, here phrases are of three types. Noun phrase, verb phrase and also prepositional phrase. And these prepositional phrases will be acting in some conditions as a adverb phrase and some conditions as an adjective phrase. Tell you what is phrase. and types of phrases I explained. Now I am going to explain about clause. What is a clause? A group of words which will be including a subject and at least one verb. Again I repeat, a group of words combined together having one verb at least and with a subject. Look here, I repeat, a clause is a group of words that includes at least a subject and a verb. Means a sentence will be having at least one subject or a verb, or subject and two verbs at least. And some conditions it will be having a subject and verb and one more verb. Example. Look at here, kids. Examples I have written to. Look at the first sentence. I graduated last year. I graduated last year. What is the subject here? Yes, I is the subject. Graduated. He got some graduation certificate. So he is telling that I graduated last year. So here we are having my subject, a verb and also a object. Look at here, I repeat, I graduated last year. Here I is acting as subject, graduated became as verb and last year it became as object. Again I repeat one more sentence here. When I came here, I saw him. When I came here, I saw him. Came it is working as verb. Saw is working as verb. When. So it is acting as a subject. See, the sentence is having a subject and more verbs, more than one verb. Such type of sentences are also called as clauses. But at least a sentence will be having one subject or a verb. Such type of sentences are called as clauses. Children, clauses are of two types. What are those? Independent clause and dependent clause. Again I repeat, clauses are of two types. What are those? Independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause means what? Any idea? Yes. Independent clause means which does not depend on a sentence. Again I repeat, independent clause means that which can stand alone by itself without taking any help of any other words. Again I repeat, independent clause means one that can stand alone as a sentence without the help of any others. Next, dependent clause. What is dependent clause? One that is usually supporting a part of a sentence. This sentence needs a support. So, it is called as a dependent clause. Independent clause means which never depend, and dependent clause means which will be taking a part of a sentence as a dependent. Students, we completed what is phrase and clause. Now we came to sentence. What is a sentence? A group of words combined together to give a complete sense or meaning is called a sentence. A group of words or a set of words combining together to give a complete meaning or sense is called as a sentence. I repeat, a group of words combined together to give a complete meaning or sense is called as a sentence. And it is a set of words that contains a subject and a predicate. And it is that sentence will be having a subject and a predicate. Again I am repeating, students, listen here. Sentence. What is sentence? A group of words combined together to give a complete meaning or a sense. It is called as a sentence. And that sentence will be completely meaningful when it is having only one subject or a predicate. Sentence will be having a subject and predicate, I said. And what is subject? A subject means what the sentence is about, the topic of the sentence. Means the sentence will be having a main part, that is called as subject. And what is predicate? It means what is said to be said about the subject. Predicate means which tells about the subject, and subject means what will be told about the predicate. And what about we are talking, that is called as subject, and predicate means what we are going to talk about the subject. Here is an example. You speak English. You means a person. So it is acting as a subject. English. What is it? He is speaking English. So it is telling about the subject. What is this called as? Predicate. Speaking becomes as a verb. So here the sentence is having a subject and a predicate. Such type of sentences are called as sentences. Meaningful words combining together are called as sentences. One more example I say. Sun rises. Here sun is subject and rises is predicate. Here sun is subject and rises is predicate. One more example. Ram and Shyam speak English when they are working. So Ram and Shyam, this becomes as subjects. These are the main characters. So it becomes as subject. Speak, it becomes as verb, and English when they are working, this becomes as predicate. This becomes as predicate. Look at here children. Ram and Shyam becomes as subject. Speak becomes as verb. English when they are working, this becomes as a predicate. So this is all about today's class, and tomorrow with a fresh topic I will be coming in front of you. Wait till I come in front of you. Thank you.